Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Okay, let's get started now. Thank you. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadādhara Ādi Gadādhara Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So dear devotees, we are reading from verse number 68. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur is describing the wonderful trip of Shri Nimai Vishwambhar to Bangladesh. Nimai Pandita Adhyapaka Shiromani Asiya Achena Sarva Dike Haila Dhvani. News soon spread in all directions. What is the news? Nimai Pandita Adhyapaka Shiromani. Nimai Pandit, who is the crest jewel of all teachers. Asiya Achena Sarva Dike Haila Dhvani. That Nimai Pandit, who is the best of all teachers, has arrived on the banks of the river Padmavati. This news spread everywhere. Again, this is Caitanya Bhāgavata of Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. Ādi Leela, Ādi Khaṇḍa, chapter 14, verse number 68. So now verse number 69. Bhagyavanta jata ache sakala brahmana upayana haste ai lena se ikshana. The fortunate brahmanas all came to welcome Shri Nimai with various gifts. All the fortunate brahmanas who wanted to learn from Nimai, they came. And they did not come empty-handed. One should not go to meet a respectable personality empty-handed. One should always carry some gifts. Especially when we go to meet Shri Guru, we should always carry some gift with us. That is the etiquette. Verse number 70. Muktasanga Prabhu, everybody can hear clearly? Is the sound clear? Because I am outside in the car, so I don't know how the network is.
Yeah, for me it is very clear, Prabhu. Clear.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. So, verse number 70. Sabe asi prabhure kariya namaskar balite lagila ati kari parihar. Coming before Shri Nimai, all the brahmanas of Bangladesh who were living on the banks of the Padmavati river, they offered their obeisances and they humbly spoke as follows. They came and they humbly spoke as follows. What did the brahmanas say with their sincere words? Ama sabakara ati bhagyodaya haite tomara vijaya asi haila edeshete. All the brahmanas of Bangladesh, they spoke to Shri Nimai that Ama sabakara ati bhagyodaya haite. We consider ourselves very fortunate. Why? Tomara vijaya asi haila edeshete. Because your glorious self has come to our village, has come to our area. We are very fortunate, very fortunate. Verses 72 and 73. Artha vritti lai sarva goshtira sahite yarasthane navadvipe jaiba padite hena nidhi anayase apane ishware Aniya dilena ma sabara duyare. The Brahmanas continued speaking to Shri Nimai, that rare touchstone to whom we were to go with friends and money to study under in Navadvip, has now been brought to our doorstep by Providence. This is what they are saying when our Nimai from Navadvip has traveled to Bangladesh, East Bengal. It is like someone from the childhood wants to get a Harvard degree. And imagine if Harvard University comes and says, we will teach you, train you, and we will give you the Harvard degree right here in your home. Just imagine. Something millions of times greater than that was happening here. Why? Because Nimai is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nimai is Krishna. He is Jagat Guru, Vasudeva Jagat Guru. He is not just an Adhyapak, not just a teacher, not just a spiritual master for the whole world, but he is our best friend. He is the sweetest personality in the whole world. And he's coming to give his association. How wonderful is that? Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes, Harinam Chintamani. The name of Krishna is Chintamani. Nama Chintamani Krishnas Caitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto Abhinnatva Nama Namini. And Nam and Nami are Abhinna. So if the name of Krishna is Chintamani, that's true, then Krishna himself is Chintamani also. No difference. So this Chintamani, Gauranga, Gaura Mani has come to East Bengal. So the Brahmanas there who are interested in learning, they are very ecstatic. Very ecstatic. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, the beloved spiritual master of our founder Acharya, Shri Srimad Abhay Charana Arvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada, writes in the purport here, during Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's presence, many people from East Bengal accumulated wealth and went with their sons and dependents to study in Navadvip, which was the high seat of education, the center of education at that time. So therefore, Shri Nimai Pandit was famous as the crest jewel of all teachers, Adhyapaka Shiromani. The students desired to study under him alone. Yet for some reason or another, everyone was not able to go to Navadvip. Everyone cannot go. They cannot leave their family home and go. Since today, due to the good fortune of the students, that same crest jewel of teachers, Shri Nimai Pandit, personally arrived on the bank of Padmavati in East Bengal. All these people, local people, they were praising their extraordinary fortune. And now they consider that now they don't have to go to Navadvip. Now the Adhyapak Shiromani from Navadvip, Shri Nimai Vishwambar, has come to teach us. Verse number 74. Murti manta tumi brihaspati avatar tomara sadrisha adhyapaka nahi yaar. The Brahmanas living on the banks of Padmavati river in East Bengal, they are saying, there is no other teacher like you, O Nimai. In fact, you are like the incarnation of Brihaspati. Brihaspati is the teacher of the Devatas. So that is the maximum example that these people can think of. Actually, Krishna is Asamordhva. No one is equal to Krishna and no one is greater than Krishna. Krishna is the best. So we can never give an appropriate example about Krishna's greatness. We cannot. All these comparisons that Krishna, Namo Pankaja Nabhaya, Namo Pankaja Maline, Namo Pankaja Netraya, Namaste Pankajangaraye. All these examples comparing Krishna's eyes to the lotus, Krishna's lips being compared to the bimba fruit, Krishna's softness of the skin being compared to Navaneet, butter, freshly churned butter. These are all analogies, but actually they don't do justice to the beauty of Krishna. Krishna's beautiful white teeth being compared to a row of pearls. Krishna's beautiful sweet nose being compared to the bud of a sesame flower. All these examples are there. Our devotional poets, our acharyas have used all these examples. The effulgence of Krishna's toenails being compared to the moon. Tribhanga deha sundaram nakhadyuti sudhakaram amulya ratna bhushanam namami nandanandanam. Yes, the effulgence of the toenails is compared to the moon's. But again, it doesn't do justice. The moon is nothing compared to Krishna's toenails. So, we give examples according to our capacity. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur wrote so many beautiful ashtakams, wrote so many beautiful books, so many beautiful commentaries on Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. And many times he used analogies from this world so we can understand. Krishna's walking is like the majestic, confident walking of the elephant. All these examples Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur used. But when Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur had Sakshat Darshan of Krishna, he said, hi, what did I do? What did I do? As a writer of transcendental literature, I have done such injustice to Krishna. All these analogies I gave, all these examples I gave, they are improper, insufficient, inappropriate. They don't do justice to Krishna's beauty. When he had Sakshat Darshan of Krishna, he said, no. Krishna's beauty far surpasses any of these examples of the material world. Because these material things like lotus and elephant and bimba fruit and pearls, these are jada vastus. These are material things. How can they be compared? How can they be comparable to Krishna's transcendental beauty? How can a mundane object be comparable to Krishna's transcendental beauty? Isn't it? Similarly, here these Brahmanas are giving example of Brihaspati. Actually, what is Brihaspati? Brihaspati is a ordinary jiva. In every universe, there are Brihaspatis after Brihaspatis. And these are all coming from Mahavishnu. And Mahavishnu is coming from an expansion of the expansion of Balramji, who is an expansion of Krishna. Think about that. And there are millions of such jivas who are greater than Brihaspati. Shankar Bhagavan is greater than Brihaspati. Mother Parvati is greater than Brihaspati. Brahmaji is greater than Brihaspati. All the devotees like Hanumanji, they are greater than Brihaspati. What is Brihaspati? But these Brahmanas are giving the example of Brihaspati. Brihaspati Drishtanta Tomar Yogyan. So then they are realizing in the next verse that it is not proper. They are only realizing. First they are saying Murti Manta Tumi Brihaspati Avatar. You are Brihaspati Avatar as if. Then no. This example is incorrect. Yes, Brihaspati is the guru of Uddhavji. Brihaspati is the teacher of all the devatas. But still, to compare it to Sri Caitanya there, no. That is inappropriate. Brihaspati is getting all his knowledge from Krishna. Tene Brahma Ridaya Ādi Kavaye Muhyanti Yat Suraya. Krishna is giving knowledge to Brahmaji, the first living entity in this universe. And then from Brahmaji, all these people are coming like Brihaspati. And Brahmaji is the guru or their param guru. Krishna is Brahmaji's guru. Therefore, that analogy is there. Krishna accepts. Even if we compare Krishna to Brihaspati, to the majestic gait of an elephant, to the fragrance of a lotus flower, or Krishna's bodily fragrance to the fragrance of musk and chandan and aguru. We give all these comparisons. Actually, these material perfumes like sandalwood and aguru and camphor and kasturi, can they be compared to Krishna's bodily fragrance? That fragrance that maddens Srimati Radharani? That fragrance that maddens Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the Antelila of Chaitanya Charitamrita? Can it be compared to musk? To chandan? No. But still our acharyas say that Krishna's bodily fragrance is like Chatushama. A combination of these four things. Musk, chandan, aguru, and kesar. Saffron. So, but this is just a hint. Because in this material world, in our material experience, these are the best perfumes. So hint is given. Krishna says that I am the fragrance of the earth, which means Kevada, Mogra, all these flowers that have beautiful fragrance, it's all coming from Krishna. The musk deer is also getting its fragrance from Krishna. Krishna is the source of everything. Sarva Karana Karanam. But what to do? We are limited. So based on our understanding, based on our capacity, our experience, we give examples, but Krishna is bhavagrahi. Even if we compare him to, even if we compare Krishna to Brihaspati, Krishna will accept it. So merciful Krishna is. But then verse number 75, the Brahmanas are correcting themselves. Brihaspati drishtanta tomara yogya nahe, Ishwarera amsha tumhi hena mane laye. Rather to compare you to Shri Brihaspati is insufficient. It is inappropriate. Yogya nahe. It is not proper. Ishwarera ansha tumhi. We consider you to be a ansha of Ishwar, the Supreme Lord. We consider you the ansha of the Supreme Lord, Krishna. Again, is this true? No. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Swayam Bhagwan. Brajendra Nandana Jai Shashi Suta Hoilo Se. He's Krishna. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya. Krishna has come as Krishna Chaitanya. Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya. And what is Krishna's name? Namine Gaura Tushe Namaha. His name is Gaura. And his Tusha also is Gaura. He's fair. Not Ghansham like Krishna. So this is also incorrect, that you are Ishwarera Ansha. You are Ishwarera Ansha. That is also incorrect. But Krishna accepts. Theek hai. According to your realization, you are glorifying. That's okay. Brihaspati drishtanta tomara yogya nahe, Ishwarera Ansha tumi hena mane laye. This is Krishna, my dear friends. He accepts us even with all our mistakes and faults and deficiencies. Now we are offering prayers, but there are so many mistakes here, inconsistencies, inaccuracies. But is Krishna going to hold us guilty? You made a mistake in your prayers. There was a Siddhantic mistake. There was an analogy that was incorrect, rejected. Murkho vadati Vishnaye, dhiras vadati Vishnave. Ubhayo hitu samam punyam bhavagrahi janardana. Krishna is bhavagrahi. Once Shripad Aindra Prabhu was asked by a devotee that I have got this Shaligram Shila to worship, but this Shaligram Shila is cracked. And in the Skanda Puran, there is a verse that says that we should not worship broken Shaligram. Hare Krishna. Can you hear me? Yeah. Shripad Aindra Prabhu was asked that in the Shastra it is said that one should not worship broken Shaligram Shilas. And this Shaligram Shila is chipped. So what to do? Can I put the Shila in Yamuna? Shripad Aindra Prabhu said, yeah, you want to reject Krishna because Krishna has some fault in him. He's not complete, he's chipped. What if Krishna applies that same yardstick to you? What if Krishna rejects you for your faults? Do you have any fault? Do you have any deficiencies? Rascal, you want to reject Krishna? You want to throw him? You think Krishna is not worshipable? This Shaligram Shila is not worshipable because there is some chip in it, chipped off. Are you perfect and complete? The devotee started trembling. Shripad Aindra Prabhu said, don't do that. In whatever form Krishna comes, just worship Krishna with love. Bhavagrahi Janardana. Don't do like this. You are yourself filled with holes, like a sieve. You're like a jali, filled with holes. And you're blaming the needle. Like needle, you have got a hole. Arey Baba, look at yourself. You're filled with faults. And you're finding faults with Krishna who is faultless. So Krishna is not like that. Krishna covers up our deficiencies. He accepts. Theek hai. Verse number 76. Anyatha Ishvara vine emata panditya anyera na haya kabhu laya chitta vitta. Otherwise, such knowledge is not possible in anyone other than the Supreme Lord. This is our firm conviction. So these Brahmanas are convinced that Nimai Pandit is the Supreme Lord. He's at least Ishvara Ansha. Because the Lord attracted the heart of everyone by the opulence of his knowledge, vidya, scholarship. They considered that the Lord to be divine. 77. एबे एक निवेदन करिए तुम्हारे विद्यादान कर किछु आमा सब आकारे. This is the way to approach. This is the way to approach one's guru. The Brahmanas are saying, Ebe eka nivedana kariye tumhare. We have one request, one nivedan. What is that? Vidya dana karo. Kichu ama sabakare. Please give us the gift of knowledge. Vidya dan. To all of us. Not to one or two, to all of us. Very nice prayer. Vidya dan. It is Vidya dan, my dear friends. But nowadays, hey, I have paid the fee in the university. Better you give me all education. I deserve it. Previously, it was not like that. Vidya was given. Vidya was given. Nobody paid anything. After the Vidya was over, as a token of gratitude, not to purchase the diploma or the degree, as a token of gratitude, they would give Guru Dakshina. That was a token of Kritanyata, gratitude. But nowadays, education system, because of Western influence, previously it was free in India. All education was free and all food was free. There was no concept of restaurants. In Caitanya Charitamrita, we don't read that Shivananda Sen took the 200 pilgrims to a restaurant. Or in Srimad Bhāgavatam, we don't read about any restaurants because this was not the system. Food was always given free of cost and Vidya was given free of cost. Therefore, people had their hearts filled with gratitude. So many people have taught me, so many people have fed me. They were filled with gratitude. But nowadays, we purchase food. We go to the restaurant, we pay the bill, we give tip. So there is no gratitude. Oh, I paid, it better be good. And then we write reviews also on the internet. So we are the enjoyer. Education also, we pay the tuition fee of the university. We qualify ourselves. And then there is a sense of entitlement. I have qualified. I got good grades. I matched. And I paid the fee. So I better get good education. If they don't like the university, they swap. They switch. They leave the university, go to another university. So there is no concept of gratitude. But when education and food were free, you're traveling somewhere, there are no motels and hotels. You live in somebody's house. So your heart is filled with gratitude. Oh, this person helped me. So when Atithi comes to our house, we remember how we have been Atithi in so many homes. And therefore, we are filled with sense of gratitude. And there is always in society, there is a culture of giving. Because everybody has received. Everybody's education was free. It was given by Guru. So that respect is there, that gratitude is there. But this culture was completely destroyed when the British came to India. First thing they did was they stopped all free distribution of food and they monetized education. This is all influence of Kali Yuga. It's not about British or this culture, that culture. It's just Kali Yuga. Even if British would not have come, we Indians would have done it. It's influence of Kali Yuga, not influence of Western or Eastern or Middle Eastern or this or that. It's not. These are all just names, designations. Actually, we are all Kali Chelas. We are all disciples of Kali Yuga, all of us. So we would have found. Now British have gone. The Mughals have gone, British have gone. And what has happened to India? We have become even more deteriorated, even more corrupt. What excuse do we have now? Can we blame our corruption on the British? Can we blame it on the Mughals who invaded us? That's why we are corrupt? No. Everybody is corrupt. There is high crime rate in America. There is high crime rate in Europe, high crime rate in Africa, high crime rate in Australia, high crime rate in India. Everywhere there is crime. Everywhere there is cheating. That's why we have police. That's why we have judiciary system. People are lying and suing and fighting over property. There are civil cases, criminal cases. Because we are all Kali Chelas. We are influenced by lust, anger, and greed, all of us, to lesser or greater degrees. And the only treatment is Harer Namaiva Kevalam. Harer Namaiva Kevalam. Because Trini Kritya Jagat Sarvam Rajate Sakalopari Chidanandamayam Shuddham Harer Namaiva Kevalam. We consider things of this world to be very important. I want little extra money, therefore I will steal. I want little extra prestige, therefore I will insult others, or I will deprive them of some opportunity because I want to show myself as more elevated, or I want to enjoy this, satisfy my lust. So because we are influenced by lust, anger, greed, we are willing to do something that is against dharma, against the laws of Krishna. We are willing to do something that is harmful for others and ourselves. We have disregard for the feelings of others. We are willing to cheat and lie because we are influenced by lust, anger, and greed. But when we take shelter of Krishna, what happens? When we chant Krishna Nam, Trini Kritya Jagat Sarvam. Everything that this material world has to offer, name, fame, adoration, distinction, wealth, beauty, sense and enjoyment, it becomes insignificant, like a blade of grass. Trini Kritya Jagat Sarvam. I am parked here on the side of a road, and there are homes in this neighborhood. And there's so much grass on the sidewalk. Does anybody care about the grass? What if we kept dollar bills on the in our front yard instead of grass? What if we kept dollar bills? People will just come and take it, right? But nobody takes grass. Nobody cares for grass. It's there. People are just growing grass. Nobody will take a blade of grass from your yard because nobody cares. There is grass growing everywhere. Trina. Everything that this material world has to offer, all the sense enjoyment, all the fame, adoration, distinction, Kamini, Kirti, Kanaka, everything that this world has to offer will become insignificant for a pure devotee who is Namashrit, who has taken shelter of Harinam. Trinikritya Jagat Sarvam Rajate Sakalopari. Harinam rules over everything, rules over all other inferior natures. Rajate Sakalopari. Chidanandamayam Shuddham. Completely Chinmay, completely spiritual. Very pure, the holy name. Harer Nama Eva Kevala. Like that. So these Brahmanas are begging Mahaprabhu that please give us the Vidya Dan. It is given in charity. We cannot purchase it. We don't deserve it. Please give Vidya Dan. So very nice. That's the right attitude. Therefore, Mahaprabhu will reciprocate. Verse number 78. Uddeshe amara sabe tomara tipani lai padi padai shuna hadvijamani. Oh, best of the Brahmanas, please hear us. We study, teach, and accept only your explanations. There are so many adhyapaks that time, so many teachers were there and they were giving their methodology and their explanations. But these Brahmanas are saying that we consider you to be the best, O Nimai. And therefore, we only accept and teach your conclusions, what you have taught your students. We propagate that. We repeat your words. They're showing their loyalty to Mahaprabhu. This is required. Before we take Diksha, before we accept a guru, we must have that ananyata. We must have that ananyata. What is that verse? Vyavasayatmaka buddhir ekeha kuru nandana bahushaka hyanantasya buddhayo avyavasayana. It's not that Srila Prabhupada had not seen pure devotees. Srila Prabhupada had seen pure devotees. But he was ananya towards Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. Look at our Gurugan. It's not that they have not seen pure devotees. They have. But they are completely sold out to Srila Prabhupada. His mission, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, to give Krishna Bhakti to everyone in the world. That is Srila Prabhupada's special mission. Gauravani Pracharine. To teach people the pristine, pure teachings of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu. That is the mission of Srila Prabhupada. And many acharyas are doing it in their own institutions. And we should respect them. We should respect them. And we should not just tolerate, but celebrate their success also. At the same time, we should be completely loyal to our mission, which is the mission of Srila Prabhupada. Because it is through this mission that we have heard about Mahaprabhu. It is through this mission that we got Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Sri Caitanya Charitamrita, the Chaitanya Bhagavat that we are reading. Who has translated into English this Chaitanya Bhagavat that we are reading? It is Bhumipati Prabhu and others who are all disciples of Srila Prabhupada. They are all disciples of Srila Prabhupada. Even if you read this Chaitanya Bhagavat, before every volume there is a page. This translation, this rendering is dedicated to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. So this should be clear in our hearts, my dear friends. This ananata should be there, like this Brahmanas are saying, that we only explain your, we only accept your explanations. We read your explanations. We study your explanation. We teach your explanations. Similarly, we should teach what Srila Prabhupada taught. We should speak what Srila Prabhupada spoke. This is very important. Very important. And this understanding should be there before we take Diksha. Otherwise, we should take Diksha in some other institute where we have faith. If we feel that Srila Prabhupada did not give us everything, then we should go to another organization, another institute, another guru, where we have faith that this guru is giving me everything. So this understanding should be there. Is there anything higher than what Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj got from Srila Prabhupada? Did Sripad Ayandar Prabhu go here and there seeking higher stuff from the Vrajrasik Vaishnavas in Vrindavan? Did he ever do that? You have to think. Did Ladini Mataji go here and there? So this Ananata should be there for our Gurudev and for the Gurudev's mission. Verse number 79. Sakshate o shishya kara ama sabakare thaku ka tomara kirti sakala samsare. Now please accept us as your students and let the entire world sing your glories. Vede gaye kushu tribhuvana. Hasi Prabhu sabha prati kariya ashvasa katadina Bangladeshe karila vilasa. Shri Nimai smiled. Hasi Prabhu smiled. And he accepted their request. He accepted the request to be their Adhyapak teacher. And thus, Lord Nimai Vishwambhar enjoyed pastimes in East Bengal for some days. Katadina Bangladesh means Bangladesh, Karila Vilasa. Sei bhagye adhyapiha sarva Bangladeshe Shri Caitanya Sankirtana Kare Stri Purushe. Due to this good fortune, the men and women, Stri Purush, the men and women of East Bengal, Bangladesh, engaged in Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement even today. Because Mahaprabhu stayed there. Although at that time Mahaprabhu was not manifesting his Leela of Nam Sankirtan Pravartak, Gauranga Mahaprabhu. That was not the mood. He is still enjoying his Vidya Vilas Leela. But because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the absolute truth, he is Sakshat Bhagwan, wherever he goes, that place is filled with auspiciousness. Mangalam Mangalebhyopi. Because Krishna is the purest of all pure. One of the names of Krishna is Mangal. One of the names of Krishna is Mangal. He's all auspicious. Therefore, because Mahaprabhu stayed there, Bangladesh became very auspicious, spiritually surcharged place, and even today people participate in Sankirtan movement. In fact, I was talking to one devotee and he was telling that Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaj has preached in Bangladesh extensively in the last 2 or 3 decades. And after India, the second country in the world where Krishna consciousness is spreading like anything, despite having very repressive Muslim rule, it is Bangladesh. Bangladesh is the country where Krishna consciousness is spreading like wildfire. Ukraine is another country, but not as much as Bangladesh. Bangladesh, it is thousands and thousands of people are taking to Krishna consciousness. It's all mercy of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu and his representatives like Srila Prabhupada and Srila Jayapadara Swami Maharaj and our Guru Varga. At the time of writing Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, the author knew very well that even many years after Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's disappearance, the Sankirtan movement inaugurated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would continue. Without discrimination, both men and women joined in that movement. See, this Caitanya Bhagavat was written by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur approximately 4 to 5 years after the disappearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna. So Mahaprabhu appeared in 1486 and in 1533, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu disappeared from this world. And 1538 or 1539, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur completed Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. So at that time, all this movement of Mahaprabhu has not spread, but he knows. Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, being Srila Vyasadeva, he is Trikalagya. He knows. Madhye madhye matra kata papi gana giya loka nashta kare apanare lolaiya. Sometimes sinful persons try to mislead people by accepting their homage for themselves. This is a very great cause of spiritual fall down, when we accept the glorification of people. Joining the devotees in chanting the glories of Krishna, some sinful persons create disturbance in Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement. When simple-minded people engage in kirtan along with these sinful persons who are attached to irrelevant fruits like Kanaka Kamini Kirti, they are unable to achieve the supreme goal. Therefore, kirtan should be dominated by pure devotees or advanced devotees. This is a very important fact. Kirtan should not be led by someone who is just a melodious singer. No, but someone who is namnisht, someone who is following the regulative principles, someone who is chanting nicely, someone who is humble, someone who is not after Kanaka Kamini Kirti, someone who is not after money, sense gratification with the opposite sex, and collecting followers and becoming famous. Those who are not after this Kanaka Kamini Kirti or Pratishtha, such devotees and who are sincere, who have taste in Harinam, they should be leading kirtans. They should be dominating the Sankirtan. Then everybody who is participating will benefit. But if a materialistic person who is doing it to appear cool and become popular and be known as a great kirtan singer is singing, or someone who for fame or money is playing mridanga, kartal, these things are not anukul for Uttama Bhakti. These things are not favorable for pure devotional service. 83. Listen carefully. Udara bharana lagi papishtha sakale raghunatha kariyapa nare keha bale. In order to fill their bellies, these sinful cheating people by claiming to be Lord Ram. The phrase udara bhari lagi means for the sake of the stomach. Udara bharan. Basically get money, fill the bellies. In order to gratify the senses, sinful people who are attached to material enjoyment imagine or declare themselves to be worshippers of Supreme Lord. So many people are there. There is someone who calls himself Kalki Avatar, someone who calls himself the Supreme Lord, someone who calls himself Narayan. So many people are there in India and around the world. People who claim to be God, or people who claim to be very great Jagat Gurus. That is also there. Verse 84. Kona papi gana chhadi Krishna Sankirtan apanare gao yaya baliya Narayan. Other sinful persons give up chanting the names of Krishna and claim to be Narayan. They then induce others to chant their glories. So this is also a big problem. Some people, what they say is, we accept that Lord Vishnu or Lord Narayan is pure and supreme. But this avatars like Ram, Krishna, Narasimha, these are all avatars of Narayan. They are not the supreme. And therefore, we worship Lord Narayan. But we reject all these temporary manifestations like Krishna, Ram. People say like this nonsense. So that is also apasiddhanta. That is also very dangerous. We should not follow. When sinful people become extremely offensive by posing as gurus, concocted by their own self-worship, they give up Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which is the source of all auspiciousness. So that is also not good. Therefore, we have to be completely in line with our acharyas. There is no room for putting one step away from the siddhanta, pure siddhanta of the parampara. Verse number 85. देखी तेची दीने तीना अवस्था यार कोन लाजे आपनारे गाओ जाए से छार. How can an insignificant person who daily goes through the three states shamelessly induce others to chant his glories? Tina avastha, three states of a person are gross, subtle, and casual. Wakefulness, sleeping, and deep sleep. Sleep means when we dream, swapna. And deep sleep, supta, very deep sleep. And jagran, when we are awake. These are the three states. We are either awake, or we are sleeping in a way that we are dreaming, or we are in deep sleep where there is no dream. These are our three states of consciousness. Or other three states are past, present, and future. But these are all under the influence of material time and material modes of nature. A person who is under the three modes of material nature, how can that person allow others to glorify him or her? Or worship him or her? No, we are not worshipable at all. Verse 86. राडे आर एक महा ब्रह्म दैत्य आछे अंतरे राक्षस विप्र काच मात्र काछे. There's a powerful Brahma Daitya in Radadesh. Although he externally dresses like a Brahman, internally he is a demon. So, Srila Vrindavan Thakur is writing here about someone who is like a Rakshas. And Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Sar Thakur is writing that in this Radadesh area, which includes the Ekachakra area where Sri Nityananda Prabhu appeared, nowadays, many times it is called Radhadesh, which is also okay. The area on the western bank of Ganga are known as Rashtradesh. And then Rashtra became transformed into Rada with the passage of time. So became Radadesh. And now in ISKCON, with the Westerners not being able to say Rada, they call it Radha. Radhadesh. There is a CD also, Radhadesh Mellows. But that is very good. This type of transformation is very good because now they're chanting Radha now. So Radhadesh or Radadesh. There are many villages within Radadesh, but the names of those villages are not mentioned at this point. If Brahmana becomes a ghost after death, he becomes a Brahma Daitya or Brahma Rakshas. A Brahmana who follows his prescribed duties generally advances to higher planets. That is a natural destination of Brahman. Go to higher planet because Brahman is supposed to be in Sattva Gun. And Urdhvam Gachanti Sattvastha. Madhya Tishtanti Rajasa. Jaganya Gunavrittisya Adho Gachanti Tamasa. Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says that Urdhvam Gachanti Sattvastha. One who is sthit, one who is situated in Sattva Gun goes up. A Brahman who follows his prescribed duties of being in the mode of goodness, gradually, naturally, he generally advances to higher planets. But those who neglect their duties and engage in sinful activities and thus meet an unnatural death becomes Brahma Daityas. For example, someone who commits suicide. A Brahmana who commits suicide may become a Brahma Rakshas. Or a Brahman who performs very sinful activities may become Brahma Rakshas. So-called Brahmanas who are envious, offensive, blasphemers of Vaishnavas, they commit grave Vaishnava Aparadh. Such a Brahman also may become Brahma Rakshas. Real pure Brahmanas are totally partial and subordinate to Vaishnava principles. Real Brahmanas. Since so-called Brahmanas who are envious of Vaishnavas become ghosts in this very life, they are presently being addressed as Brahma Daitya. One such Brahma Daitya from Radadesh externally exhibited Brahminical behavior, yet internally maintaining envy towards the pure Vaishnavas. And as a result, he became an envious demon. When a Brahman engages in the demoniac activities of envy towards Vaishnavas, Vaishnava Dvesh, then he becomes a Rakshas. When a Brahman engages in the demonic activities of envying Vaishnavas, then he is called a Brahma Rakshas. Although demons are expert in envying cows, demigods, and Vaishnavas, They become puffed up with false ego due to their birth in seminal Brahman families. Especially true in Kali Yuga. They are simply born in Brahmin families, but they don't have acharan like Brahmanas. The performance of Brahminical activities and acceptance of external Brahminical dress by persons who internally maintain demoniac propensities in this way is simply artificial duplicity that ruins people. Verse 87. Se papishtha apanare bolaya gopa ataiva tare sabe balena shiyal. That sinful person advertised himself as Gopal, means Krishna, and people therefore call him a Shiyal, a jackal. Jackal. Because there's a story of a jackal. We don't have time to get into it, but there's a story of jackal who accidentally fell in the tub of a dhobi. And to wash white clothes, even those who have grown up in India, they will remember, when we have to wash white clothes, white dhoti, white kurta, white clothes, white sari, we wash them in need. We wash them in that blue dye. Then they become very shubhra, very nice, bright white. I remember in childhood, our pajamas and kurtas and dhotis, they would be washed every now and then in that neel. So they come out like very new. So he fell in that dhobi's tub where that neel was there, that blue color was there. And this jackal became blue in color. He came to the forest and all the animals were startled. Who is this creature? He's completely blue. We have never seen. So he said, oh, you don't know who I am? I am the king of the forest. I have been sent by the devatas from heaven to rule over this forest. All of you are my subjects. All of you are my citizens. You should follow my orders. I am your king. So all the animals, they bowed down to him. Then he started ordering even the tigers and lions, go and get meat for me. Go and get deer for me. I want to eat. I'm hungry. So everybody was serving him, thinking him to be the king. And then one night, when in the forest, the other jackal started howling. Ooh, ooh. Then out of instinct, this blue jackal also started, ooh, in his jackal voice started howling. And all the tigers and lions, they came to know that, hey, this is not some king. This is a jackal. He just appears blue, but he's jackal. So then he was punished. So therefore, this person is called jackal, because he's not Krishna, but is calling himself Krishna, calling himself Gopal. So Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur is concluding, verse 88. Shri Caitanya Chandra Vine Annere Ishvara Ye Adhama Bale Se Chara Shochatara. Anyone who accepts someone other than Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Supreme Lord is fallen, is insignificant, and fit for living in hell. So the person is fit for living in hell because they don't accept Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. From verse 89, we will see next time. It's almost 1 hour, so we'll stop here. Shri Chaitanya Bhāgavata ki jai, Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur ki jai, Shri Bhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Labhai Charana Arvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna. Are there any questions or comments?
Thank you very much, Prabhu. I have a very simple question.
Yes, Prabhu.
Did everyone in that gathering knew that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Lord himself?
No. They did not. None of them knew actually that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Lord. But it is said like that. Ishwar Ansha, they are glorifying Nimai to be a very, very learned person, extraordinarily divine person, because nobody was as learned as him. So it was like that. They are glorifying Nimai as a very extraordinary person who is divinely empowered. Ishwar Ansha, like that. Not that he.
One of the translation I saw that they were referring him as a Lord.
Yes. That is just out of
love.
How people say that cricket is my religion and Sachin is my God. Sachin Tendulkar is my something like that. Not they didn't actually have the realization that he is a supreme personality of Godhead. No, for them he was the greatest hero He was the greatest teacher, and he appeared to be like divinely empowered, like that. So they were glorifying in that way, not actual Bhagwan.
Okay, thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Anyone else? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Okay, so there are no questions. We'll stop here. See you all tomorrow morning.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu. Thank you so much.